Well, first of all, I have to say, if you're going to make a movie, make sure you notify the local authorities.
It's the producer's town, so I assumed that he had gotten... Yeah, I assumed he had gotten permits and let everybody know, and he always told me, the reason he got me to come there is, Easton was such a friendly city for filming, and you can do anything you want. And apparently that doesn't involve, making your own police cars and driving them around with lit lights, because they didn't like that.
Yeah, the day that the cops shut us down, I figured, we're shooting in my house, in my front yard, and I have every right to be out in my front yard dressed like a dime store police detective, brandishing a totally fake weapon, with a totally fake badge.
They weren't the most realistic looking police cars. We hadn't been able to get the ones that we'd wanted. So we just kind of jury-rigged 2 cars. We had real police light racks, so we strapped them up. And I thought, I think to sell this a little better, if they were lit as they drove in, I mean, they look like police cars because they're police lights. So we did that. And in retrospect, it was probably a bad idea since, traffic was stopping for our guys and cars were trying to get out of the way, which, they were actually getting in the shot rather than just, continuing on about their business. They'd be pulling to the side of the road into our shots. And apparently all of that caught the attention of the local PD because they sent a guy out. And actually we were filming a scene from inside the van when one of the cops showed up, and you can actually see in the footage him driving in. And I thought, when I saw him, I thought, oh shit, I knew what that meant. We were in trouble. Frank is walking around with a badge and a gun, and meanwhile one of our crew members, for a reason I can't figure out, is walking around with Shiver's battle axe, out in this neighborhood.
I don't know what you got on your side.
Well, this is a blank firing replica.
That's fine. But Jack will get you in a whole lot of trouble. Okay? I don't know who helped you organize all this, but
It was me.
anything like this has to go through our department. Do you have identification?
And I got pulled aside and had to do some fast talking with one of the very kind and understanding local officers, and we worked it all out, and I was able to go downtown and basically explain what it was that we were doing and make amends for my oversight in not communicating to them earlier. But it's a monkey wrench, We had a few monkey wrenches in the show, and one of those was my failing as a producer.
Start about here. I'll give you a call in a few minutes to let you know what's going on.
Dropped the ball. Should have called the town. Asked about permits and all that other stuff. Too many things to do, not enough time. Lousy memory. Blah, blah. My fault.
He actually turned out to be a pretty nice guy, but at first, he was giving us, the hard-ass attitude. Said you can only film on this property over here, the property you own. He also said that there was a local ordinance that where nobody in the city of Easton over the age of 12 can wear a mask or a costume. And that was going to be a little bit of a problem since my movie was all about clowns.
Barney pulls up and he shuts us down and makes us go behind the house. But before that, he warns us that, it's against the law in Easton to wear a costume outside of Halloween for adults. So, he gave us a warning that, he could take us down if he saw us again in costume.
What we ended up doing is we shot some of the scenes in the backyard of this house that we owned, and then we waited for night to fall, and once it did, we went ahead and shot everything we needed outside.
Yeah, so the whole cloak and daggers thing, it's fun, it's interesting, cops are driving by and we're like little cockroaches, like once the light hits us.
Fun. It's fun.
Okay, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, what horse shit. Whenever a cop came, people would run out, grab the lights off the cars, everybody would scatter and hide. It was a very tough way to shoot and very time consuming. So once again, we ran late. We shot right up until sunup, and then there's nothing you can really do except, cover the windows. We could shoot some of the interior stuff and still make it double as night, but it was very, very tough.
It's just another instance of guerrilla filmmaking because, when you have a bunch of guys waiting in a bush in case a cop drives by, That's guerrilla filmmaking.